In the swirling sands of time, one name refuses to fade. Cleopatra. She was Egypt's last pharaoh, a queen shrouded in mystery, remembered as a temptress, feared as a strategist, and marked by the fall of an empire. But who was Cleopatra really? A beauty who used her charm to survive, or a brilliant ruler whose legend was twisted by her enemies? Let's go back to the year 69 BCE in Alexandria, the shining jewel of the ancient world. Cleopatra VII, Philopator, was born into the Ptolemaic dynasty, a royal Greek family that had ruled Egypt since the days of Alexander the Great. She wasn't Egyptian by blood, but she would become more Egyptian than any of her ancestors. She learned the language. She worshipped the gods. She lived and breathed the Nile. And from the very beginning, her world was filled with danger. The Ptolemies were known for violence and betrayal. Brothers killed sisters, mothers killed sons, all in the name of power. Cleopatra was thrown into this political storm as a child, and when her father died, she became co-ruler at just 18 years old, alongside her 10-year-old brother and husband, Ptolemy XIII. But power in Egypt was never shared for long. Soon, a vicious civil war broke out. Cleopatra was forced into exile, cast out of Alexandria. Her brother held the throne, but not for long. In 48 BCE, destiny sailed into Alexandria's harbor in the form of Julius Caesar. Cleopatra saw her chance. Legend says she had herself smuggled into Caesar's chambers, rolled in a carpet, unrolled at his feet like a gift. Whether myth or truth, what matters is this: she won him. Caesar, Rome's most powerful man, became her ally and her lover. With his help, she reclaimed her throne and eliminated her rivals, including her own brother. She later gave birth to Caesar's son, Caesarion, and ruled Egypt as its undisputed queen. But her love affair with Caesar didn't end in romance. In 44 BCE, Caesar was assassinated. On the Ides of March, Rome plunged into chaos, and once again Cleopatra was alone, with enemies growing in the west. Then came Mark Antony. Antony was bold, impulsive, and ruthless, and when he summoned Cleopatra to meet him, she arrived not as a guest, but as a goddess. Draped in gold, sailing up the Cydnus River on a barge of silver and silk, Cleopatra staged an entrance that stunned even the Romans. Antony fell under her spell. Together they formed a new power couple, not just in love, but in politics. He gave her lands, titles, and recognition. She gave him heirs, loyalty, and Egypt. But to Rome, it looked like betrayal. The Roman Senate, led by Octavian, Caesar's adopted son, declared war, not against Antony alone, but against Cleopatra. What followed was one of history's most dramatic showdowns, the Battle of Actium, 31 BCE. Cleopatra and Antony's forces were crushed, their fleets scattered, their empire lost. They fled to Alexandria, defeated, hunted, and surrounded. In the end, Antony fell on his sword. Cleopatra, legend says, died soon after, perhaps by poison, perhaps by the bite of an asp. No one knows for sure. Her tomb was never found. She died at just 39 years old. With her death, the Ptolemaic dynasty ended. Egypt became a Roman province. The last pharaoh was gone. But Cleopatra's legend had only just begun. For centuries, her image was shaped by her enemies, by Roman poets and emperors who painted her as a villain, a whore, a foreign temptress who brought down great men. But look deeper. Cleopatra spoke at least 7 languages. She was educated in philosophy, science, and politics. She navigated empires, outmaneuvered rivals, and ruled the wealthiest kingdom in the Mediterranean for over 2 decades. She was not just a queen of beauty, she was a queen of mind. And even in death, she won. Today we remember her, not Octavian. Her story survives not just as history, but as myth, power, and fascination. She was Cleopatra, the last pharaoh, the queen who seduced an empire and nearly brought it to its knees.